right.
I saw that ice cube and I'm choking on it.
Rest in peace.
It like went down the wrong pipe, but like it was on the pipe while I was clapping, and I was like, I can't.
I think I heard that.
I heard you go.
There was a noise that occurred.
Listen, I had to make sure we got the claps good.
Unfortunately, earlier today, Tiago was killed after he choked to death on an ice cube. Evidence has been provided to the police via the updated Autopsy Report podcast, which is suitably ironic. News at 11.
Ooh,
Oh my god.
Starbucks
I think
is to blame.
Do you think that could be like an Ace Attorney case? Is like podcaster is killed and somehow the evidence is on the podcast? That seems right for an Ace Attorney.
That sounds like a
mystery.
Poker Face episode.
Funnily enough, that is actually a Poker Face episode.
That sounds about right.
The Rest in Metal one. Remember, they used the podcast
yeah.
ladies, the true crime podcast ladies, to help provide evidence to the authorities. So,
good shit.
Watch Poker Face. Pretty good. Oh, hello. I didn't see you there, Internet. Welcome to Updated Autopsy Report, a podcast from Yotsuben and Friends where we replay the entire Ace Attorney series with longtime fans and newcomers. I'm your host, Ben, and with me today is Dessy.
Hello.
And two good friends of ours, Tiago.
Yeah.
And Rose.
Hi.
Dessy and I are the longtime fans, and Rose and Tiago are the newcomers. We hope that through both of our perspectives as we play through the series, it'll reveal new details and provide interesting commentary for a series that's near and dear to us. Today, we have all played the first half of the fifth and final case of Ace Attorney Investigations 2, The Grand Turnabout. Summary time. Immediately after solving the case of Kay's missing memories, Kay and Edgeworth walk outside the Grand Tower and go, wow, that was crazy. Hope we don't immediately stumble onto another dead body. And then they immediately stumble upon another dead body, the president of Zhangfa. Seemingly crushed under the giant foot of Godzilla, but like a bull, on a movie set next door in an empty lot, several people are accused in sequence. First, Justine Courtney, due to meeting the president 2 days ago. Also, Penny Nichols and Will Powers are here, and the young star of the film, John Marsh. Upon visiting Justine, who is in court, where Francisca and Ray are essentially play acting so that Patricia Rowland gets a guilty plea, Edgeworth notices that Justine is acting oddly, as though she is trying to rush to get a not guilty verdict for Patricia. Upon mind-chessing her during the break, he learns that she has A, been told that John Marsh has been kidnapped, B, that John Marsh is her son, and C, that she is required to get an acquittal for Rowland if she ever wants to see her son again. Edgeworth says he will find the boy. Also, Simon Keyes and Regina Berry are here, and I guess they offer to help too. Edgeworth and Kay then quickly begin to figure out where the kidnapper took the boy and rush to none other than Blaise DeBest's house after finding some evidence leading them there. There they find that Sebastian DeBest has been mistakenly kidnapped, and Edgeworth gives him the exact prosecutor pep talk he needs to amp him up. He still runs away sobbing. Then we return to the Grand Tower, investigate some more, encounter Shelley the Killer, who offers more cryptic advice. We figure out the garbage disposal tracking plan to figure out where we believe John has been taken, and also discover that Kay's badge has been bugged by the evil mastermind who calls us to brag. Lastly, Edgeworth returns to court to delay the proceedings long enough to rescue John Marsh from the garbage dump, and there we have an elaborate set of courtroom scenes as Sebastian finally comes into his own and confronts his dad in court. Marsh is rescued, and Justine is about to wrap up the trial when Shilong Lang, who has been here the whole time, but I just didn't have time to mention him yet, shows up and demands to bring Justine and Marsh out to the crime scene to interrogate them as his prime suspects for the murder of the president of Zhangfa. Remember? That happened at the start. Anyway, this is only halfway through the case.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
a lot
boy.
is going on in this case, and it's good that we broke it up into halves because, yeah, we this is like its own like mini arc within the case because, yeah, we've got a lot going on here with this president. Go ahead, Tiago.
I've got some shit to say, and if it's okay, I'm just gonna jump right into it.
Let's do it.
Go for it. I have some shit to say too. So
Here's my thing. Here's my first prime thing. This case. So when we talked about like breaking up this case into two chunks, I was like, all right. How I like to do the case is that I reach a save point. I like play until I reach a save point, and then I call it for the day. I did not do this with this case because there are only 2 save points in the first half of the case, and they are like 2 hours apart. So I have to sit there for 2 hours playing this game with a little DS in my cramped little adult hands, burning in pain. Why the fuck is it broken up like that? There are so many points in this fucking case where you could have had a to be continued. Why did it have to be? Who's the director for this game? I got some shit to ask him.
It's the same director as the previous game.
I'm coming for him.
Yeah.
This is the one case that probably needed the most save points because there's so many situations which were like, all right, we're in the parking lot investigating Mozilla. We're at the Grand Tower. We're at the courthouse. We're back at the Grand Tower. We're back at Sebastian the Best's house. We're back at the
combination Grand Tower and movie set. Yeah.
Like, there were so many points where you could just be like, all right, let's let the gamer rest his hands and go to bed. The entire time I've been playing this game, I've never had to make a save in a position where like I wasn't at a checkpoint, except for this case. And I was like, damn, my streak is broken.
So you haven't been living the typical Ace Attorney life, which is where most players will often just save
consistently.
They'll save constantly all the time
I'm
and
saving
save scum as needed.
constantly.
If you make a little oopsie daisy, you get the funny text and go back.
No, I've been playing this as honest as possible until recently. Until this week. That was my first thing I had to bring up about this case.
Okay.
Rose, I feel like I'm going to pass the ball to you because I feel like what you're about to bring up is the same thing I'm about to bring up.
I'm interested to find out. So we learned some things about Justine.
Yeah.
So Justine is 26 years of age.
Yeah.
Her
we
son,
had this issue too.
Yeah. Her son is 13. Now, if you're like me and you have a calculator in your pocket, you pull out your calculator, you do a little math about the characters' ages. So if John is Justine's biological son, she had him when she was 13 years old.
Yep.
Now, I will tell you
now
the one thing, or go ahead, sorry. Finish your
I was going to
thought
say, now
first.
it is entirely possible that there is more stuff going on here. They have different last names, for example, although they do kind of look similar. Originally I was thinking, oh, maybe they're brother and sister?
Same.
Right.
So let's see how that goes, but like, also...
Yeah, let me offer the context.
Go ahead.
Real fast, that from the Let's Plays with Dessy and Iro, Iro predicted early on that...
Very early on, to be honest.
Yeah, very early on in this game that that kid, we didn't know his name at the time, but, you know, we saw him keep popping up. He's like, I bet that kid is Justine's son. And he's like, I have nothing to go on other than character design, but it's like my gut instinct. And so he was very excited and very vindicated when that came up. But then originally, like, we had checked the ages and we were like, well, that doesn't seem right. That seems a little grim even for Ace Attorney. Like, Ace Attorney even doesn't usually quite deal with topics that, you know, intense.
That's really dark.
I don't think this game would handle teen pregnancy very well.
Right.
Not that young.
Especially not that young.
So we all kind of came to the conclusion at that time anyway, during the Let's Play, is that there's got to be something else going on, like an adoption situation, or that, you know, they're related in some other way, and she's just saying that he's her son because she has to cover something else up, right?
Yeah, could see,
and that's
like,
where we
maybe
landed at the time, and so we'll have to see how the rest of the
Maybe
case
a
goes.
nephew.
Like, Ace Attorney can be dark, but that's really dark.
a nephew,
That's
perhaps.
really-
Yeah.
I'm-
It's, whew.
The math.
Also, I don't like her freaking out face.
I don't either.
We just
Oh
need
my-
to.
Her,
It's a little
her
intense.
really fucking fucked up fingers and her weird breathing.
And,
Yo,
and yeah, somebody is letting some of their personal feelings into this character design, like animation, a little too much, and I'd like them to tone it down.
Here's
That's the word.
here's my thing about her freak out animation. I would have
Yeah.
been totally fine with like most of all of it, but for some reason when her tongue sticks out, I'm like, I'm actually out of here.
Yeah, there's a
That's-
lot of things going on that are too much.
It looks like, we can all say it looks like in a Hego face, right?
Yeah.
Like we're all dancing around it.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's exactly what it is.
I want to get that on the record. That's what it looks like, and all of us as a society, including Miles Edgeworth, goes, "Hey, take it easy."
Yeah.
Like-
we reacted that way when we were playing through as well. We were like,
Really?
No, thank you. I
relax
don't
a
want
little
this.
bit, ma'am. And
Yeah.
there's also a little bit of like, listen, I understand that this is a very common thing in Ace Attorney, right? Is that they have the cool, calm, collected, badass lady who's then also got a soft feminine side that comes out eventually. And so we do that again with Justine, in that, but she seems, so rigid and all about justice on the outside. But when it comes to her son, she's got, a soft side, and when she cares about him so much, and Edgeworth says her motherly side is coming out now. So it's just like a little bit like, okay, I get it. Sure, whatever. All right.
Happy Women's History Month.
Edgeworth, a man who
Women's
has
History
no
Month,
mother figures in his
baby.
life.
Miles Edgeworth does not understand women at all.
No.
No,
You-
absolutely not.
What it would be the wildest thing if so I just started thinking about the meta narrative and was just like, what if this is all just from Miles Edgeworth's perspective and he just thinks she's making that face? Because that's like,
He wouldn't, though.
But I hear you. As soon as I saw the age thing, I was like, all right, two possibilities.
As soon as she said that, we went into the profiles and looked at all the ages again, and we're like,
There's two possibilities. One, adoption. Easiest way to solve that, bing, bang, boom. Two, they're either lying about their relationship or they're lying about their ages. If Justine Corney's 46, yeah, by all means, go ahead. Have your 12-year-old kid or whatever. This isn't even the crux of the goddamn case. This is just
Right.
the most affecting thing about it.
And they
Can we-
specifically go out of their way to be like, oh, he looks like an elementary schooler, but he's not. He's actually 13. And it's like,
Right.
so you could have just had him be 10 and it would have been still bad, but
More digestible.
a lot less.
The thing is I always, the things that they say for this kind of stuff, to me, with my Ace Attorney infected brain, I always feel like it is for a reason later.
Yeah.
Right. So let's loop back around to the a little bit closer to the start real quick, just to cover some of the stuff in the the movie set and the president being killed, which is weirdly enough the
Yeah, we
inciting
didn't really
incident.
talk about that because we don't super care about him that much.
Just real quick call shot. I don't think that's the president. I think that's a body double.
I
Go
have
ahead.
a theory too.
Yeah, we also think that because we talked about it multiple times where the Lang says, "Oh, it's like he changed overnight. Like he
Yeah,
the
he
president became a different
12 years
person."
ago.
And
Yeah.
it's that's pretty suspicious to me.
Yeah.
Right?
This is not. I mean, are you the president anymore if you vanished 12 years ago and replace yourself with a body double? I don't know.
right.
Yeah.
Also, 12-year term for president?
They have a different rule system over there in Zengfa.
I guess.
I guess. Yeah.
It's getting a little
hang on.
sus. Once you go, maybe my American speaking, but once you go over 8 years, I start to get a little suspicious.
So we're recording a kaiju movie next door.
Yeah. Are you excited after you were hoping for some Steel Samurai related stuff? You still kind of got some rubber suit stuff going on here.
Yeah, but I ain't no fucking Steel Samurai, so.
Yeah.
It
Will
looks
Powers
dumb.
is here though.
It
He's wearing the suit.
Yeah.
The monster's dumb looking.
No, you know, like Mozilla.
I
It's a shame, man. Nobody here.
I like the Mozilla Gordy poster. That was a sick poster.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes, the poster's awesome.
We find out that the president of Zengfa looks like he's been trampled by Mozilla, and of course, a lot of heart goes, that's exactly what happened. And
Right.
we, as the logical, prosecutorial mind, goes, that's stupid, and moves on. We investigate the area. We investigate that someone broke in. Lang shows up and is like, "Oh yeah, Justine did it because she's." I need to ask you guys about the timeline because it says 2 nights ago, Justine Courtney was seen going to the rooftop of the Grand Tower building.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the same night where fucking Kay got knocked out and lost all her memories? Did that happen 2 nights ago?
No, I don't believe
I
so.
think that would have been the night before.
That was the night before.
Okay,
Yeah.
because
So
like
2 days ago, it was before everything had happened.
so the entirety of last case took place in 1 day, and then like moved on to the next.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
got
she
it.
was pushed off the tower and then woke up the day before, and then all of that stuff happened. So that was yesterday in the games period. And then now we're at today where all this stuff is happening.
Yeah, that's. Wait, I need like a
Day-
fucking map.
Okay. Day 1, Justine and the president meet on the building.
Yes.
Day 2, all of case 4 happens.
But you see, case 4 starts with like them stating, yes, Kay was knocked out the night before.
So
Right.
Kay being attacked would have happened the same night.
Yeah, and she would have been dropped off there later that day or the night before.
Yeah, she got her head injury that same
'Cause-
night on the roof that the president of Zhengfa and Justine were meeting.
Or actually, I might even have it. I might even have it slightly wrong because here's the thing. Now that I realize it, we walk out of the building immediately after the end of case 4, and that's when stuff starts happening for case 5.
Yeah, it's still
So it's the same day. So it's
day.
actually the same day. So
It's
actually
2 p.m.
the same day.
the same day.
Yeah.
So here's
it
my
is-
thing: is that like
Oh,
you,
my God.
when case 4 happens, you start out, let's say, on day fucking 1, right?
Mhm.
We can't say day 1 because it actually fucks up the thing. You start off on a day, right? And then you investigate Kay's amnesia, and you investigate, and you find out everything, right? But then you get arrested, and then they say, all right, your prosecutorial hearing will be tomorrow morning. So we move on to the next day.
Mhm.
And then it says, 2 days ago, Justine Courtney and the
Somebody
president.
go on the wiki and check the dates.
Yeah, I think that Justine Courtney and the president were on the rooftop the same night that Kay lost her amnesia, because I think that's how the timeline works.
Let's see here.
I didn't think I need to keep fucking track of this, but this case is
Yeah.
fucking killing me.
Kay, yeah, the April 5th is when Kay shows up in Edgeworth's office.
Yeah.
After the incident, so she got hurt on the 4th.
She got hurt on the
Yeah,
4th.
and April 6th is the day that the case 5 starts. So, yes, so there is a day time passing in case 4.
Yes.
So, yes, theoretically, Kay being knocked out and being on that building left there could have happened, could be around the same time, depending on the exact timing of the hours, right?
Yeah.
But it would have happened that same night.
Didn't
Okay.
she meet with the president at like 11 something at night? Like it was almost
Yeah.
midnight.
Yeah.
So Kay
my
falling would
God.
have happened before all of that. Like just before all of that.
We're having a straight up, like, almost Christmas scenario. Like, it from 1 Like, the
Right.
fucking timeline is killing me. Okay.
Anyway,
I wonder if...
it's
I wonder
not
if,
super important.
I wonder
in
if
the
any
end,
of these...
but it might.
My thing is that, like, I'm wondering if any of this is gonna, like, resolve in the second half of the case. Because I
Mhm.
feel like that's a question that people should have is, like, wait, they met when? Like, was there a knocked out teenager like under the tree when they had a discussion?
She fell into the hatch, didn't she?
Well, yeah, but that was after she woke up after being fucking chloroformed. So, like, you know.
Alright, anyway.
Yeah, continue. Sorry. I like had a panic. I didn't have a panic attack, but I was like sitting here being like, the math.
What is time?
The math, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're at the Mozilla set.
So all this investigation happens. You figure out that the Mozilla head could have fallen on the president. And so then the Lang is like, well, I think that Justine did it because she was the one who most recently met with him. So you go to the
typical
courtroom.
cop coming to conclusions super fast.
Yeah, so you go to the courthouse and you want to try to talk to Justine, but she's in the middle of a case right now. Court case for Patricia Rowland, and Francisca and Ray are here as the defense and prosecution. And Ray is just kind of rolling over. It's honestly kind of funny to just watch him go like, "Oh, whatever you want to do, Francisca. Go ahead."
He's like, "Listen, we
get
know
her.
She's guilty.
Like, get my client. Destroy her.
Get her
Fuck her up."
Yeah, I remember I discussed earlier when we were going through the Patricia Rowland case that I would have been like, all right, I'll defend Patricia Rowland because I think that she murdered somebody under the idea that she was going to lose her goddamn life. But knowing that it was actually premeditated because she contacted Blaze the Best to like cover up shit means that no, she was planning to murder him the entire time, which means yeah, I can't defend that. That was that was murder in the first degree. If it was manslaughter, I could deal with that. Murder in the first degree, no thank you.
Go to prison for manslaughter.
Yeah, but you know, probably a shorter time, and she at least gets her weasel with her, right? Now she doesn't get to keep her weasel. Probably, I don't know.
Her weasels.
Her weasels. I think weasels.
Yeah, her whole jacket's made of weasels.
I can't believe they let her keep all the weasels.
So many.
There's so many weasels.
Any fondness for, or any reactions, I guess, to the way that they have to now construct the courtroom scene backwards and to like make the current sprites line up with a courtroom scene, you know?
It's all backwards.
It feels like
compared to how the camera usually moves around in these segments.
I think at this point we were looking up on the wiki the number of courtrooms that you're in and how different some of them are and how the other ones look exactly the same. There's like, how many did we say? There's like 9 courtrooms that we go between the first case and now. Like the very first game and now. Usually
there's 3 primary ones that are kind of the main focus, but yeah.
No, not this game. We've already been in like 4.
Right. They show off more of the courthouse essentially throughout the rest of this game and the prior one.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I don't know. No strong reactions to this scene here for anybody.
I'm gonna let Rose go.
I mean, it's the I'm dyslexic, so I get confused usually unless like I get a real obvious like this character is on this side of the screen and now they're on this side of the screen and I'm seeing it at the same time, you know?
I think I'm with Rose. Like I hardly noticed the difference. I didn't even like occur to me that
I was just like,
just
it's a different courtroom.
my lefts and my rights are really hard for my brain to remember.
It's not quite as jarring as I mean, obviously, like Miles Edgeworth cannot face left issue, where I'm literally seeing his walking sprite like facing left, and then I pan in and he's facing right.
Like,
yeah, why is that?
That's jarring, but this was like a little bit more like.
I don't know if it has to do with like continuity of the fact that when you're playing the Phoenix Wright Center games, he's always facing that way, and they're like, oh well, the player character faces this way, so the other characters have to face that way.
Yeah.
Motion.
I do like the idea that in the courtroom segment we change the camera position so that it does look like, because when you play as like Phoenix Wright or Apollo, your character is always facing the right. And so having to like set up the courtroom so that your main character Miles Edgeworth is facing the right is also pretty fun.
It's like the benches are still aligned the same way.
Yeah.
You know, the actual positions are all exactly the same, right? Judge is here, you know, prosecutors and defense are on either side. Witness stand is in the same place as all previous games. It's just we're putting the camera in a different place than we usually see it. So it makes things feel off as a result. And also, like, Justine is not, we're not getting a straight on Justine sprite, you know? So we have to draw the judge's bench from a 3/4 angle so that she can sit at it correctly, you know? And also have the witness stand at a 3/4 angle, you know, like all that stuff.
I think it's strange that both the witness stand and the judge are facing the same direction when the camera pans.
Yeah.
I think that's the only thing that I would change, is that, like, I would set it so that one of them is facing the right.
The other way. Yeah.
But
I don't know if it's just the way that my brain works, but I've always imagined, like, when I'm playing Ace Attorney games, that there's a, like, I know you're playing Phoenix, but my brain always pictured it that, like, your point of view is a camera in the center of the room spinning around.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's essentially right. No, you've got it right.
Yeah, that's how it should be.
It never, like, I don't know, it just never, my brain never really picked up on the left-facing, right-facing thing as much as maybe other people have. I'm just like, Phoenix is on screen. I guess it's his turn.
Yay, my special man, Phoenix.
So they basically, the evidence has disappeared, and Patricia's like, that's a shame. And of course, since we later learn that John has been kidnapped, you know, Justine is like, well, you don't have the evidence, so I guess we got to wrap it up and give her not guilty. Sorry. Yeah, and you finally, Ray and Francisca are able to convince her to take a recess real quick, and then that is when Edgeworth gets to talk to Justine and mind chesses her and browbeats her into, you know, revealing this information about John and that he's been kidnapped, and also that he's her son. And that's when Edgeworth says, all right, well, we'll go find him. And Regina and Simon also show up and go, well, we were here being witnesses for this case, so sure, we'll help search for a missing child, too.
They didn't need to be here.
They didn't need to be here. Every time I see that monkey-faced bastard, Simon Keyes can fucking just kill them both. Whatever.
All right.
I'm sick of the Big Berry Circus. All right. I'm the guy who actually sits here and likes clowns. Okay, and I'm sick of these two fucks. These two upset me in ways
it's
that
a very popular case in Japan. You know,
why?
So they get to come back.
Japan is weird about clowns. Be terrified of them like the rest of us. Come on, everybody.
Yeah, that's true. Good point. I forgot about the clown girl in Arms, and then the creator going, I didn't know that Americans are afraid of clowns. That's funny. Right. Haha, losers. Yeah. And then they just keep making clowns.
Is it just because of it, or like, what the fuck?
No, we had John Wayne Gacy. They don't have John Wayne Gacy.
John Wayne Gacy only dressed up like a clown for, like, a birthday party.
And that still fucked some people up.
And it fucked up the American psyche bad enough.
Apparently.
Imagine you dress up as a clown once and the fucking, like, entire psychosphere of America changes. You develop, like, a new trauma for the entire country. It's by, like, one guy.
Yeah.
So we have to go find... It turns out that there are two parallel kidnappings. One orchestrated by Blaze the Best to find John's son, John Marsh, so that he can have leverage on Courtney. And another by the mastermind, who I don't know anything about, is just an asshole, I guess.
Right.
Blaze's men kidnapped Sebastian, because Blaze's men, to determine their kidnappee, asked one person, hey, do you know Justine Courtney? The person says yes, boom, kidnapped. That was the condition?
Yeah, just grab a random teenage boy off the street.
We're looking for a middle schooler. Looks at Sebastian Best. I mean, I guess. And then picks him up anyway.
Right.
I
mean, that's kind of the reason why they said John Marsh looks a little older than, you know, his age, or younger than his age is, right? And also that Sebastian
they do
looks
say
younger.
A couple times, too. They're like, wow, he's really small for his age.
Yeah, the confusion is not particularly. It's more just so that we can get this really funny bit of Blaze kidnapping his own son unwittingly, right?
Yeah.
And now supercharging his son's, like, I don't know what you want to call it, character growth.
Yeah, we finally get like we get like a resolution to Sebastian the Best arc, which is we find him tied up in Blaze the Best's garage, his own house.
Mm-hmm.
And he has what is possibly the most like that crying sprite he has, where he's like looking down and shit.
Yeah, let's we were shitting on some animations earlier. Let's talk about some good sprite animation.
That's what I said. As soon as he started crying, I was like, that's so rose core.
Oh yeah, I love
She's
him.
gonna love it.
That one got me fucked up. I was like, damn, Sebastian, I'm sorry for accusing of trying to kill you earlier.
Yeah, your boy's
cool.
having a rough go of it right now. Like, holy shit. Like, some stuff happens that's like legit, like, buddy. I don't think things are good at
is
home.
finally saying, you will regret your words and deeds for making fun of Sebastian.
I really did.
I don't regret making fun of him, but
I regret saying that we should have fucking brought him to the Hague or whatever. I think that Sebastian the Best finally has a character growth here in which that, like, it's funny when Edgeworth plays mind chess with him, because Edgeworth just goes, alright, if I push too hard, I might just give him like a psychotic break here. He might just shatter. So like that's the lose condition, is that Sebastian the Best loses his goddamn mind.
Did anybody mess up here?
No,
I didn't. I felt bad.
I felt
if you do, it's like an instant fail. There's no like you just lose a little bit of your time meter.
Wow.
It's instant for any like mind breaks, and he just goes bah, and then starts running and cries and runs away.
Yeah, you have to try and like not mind crush this 17-year-old who's just been kidnapped violently.
After finding out that his entire career and life path has been set up by a father who hates him.
Speaking of mind crushing, that episode of Mandalorian, baby.
Hey, wow. I don't want to talk about it.
This is going to come out like 2 weeks after that episode comes out.
All right, so we're probably not spoiling anybody, but like, also I don't want to talk about it.
Okay. So Sebastian
Miles Edgeworth knows how to use a mind flayer.
Like from D&D?
Like from D&D. Like from Stranger Things.
Yeah. I don't know what you're talking about.
So Sebastian the Best, we help him get onto his good arc, which is he realizes that he still wants to be a prosecutor, but he wants to be different from his father. He wants to etch out his own path.
So go back to school.
And Miles
and do it for real this time.
Miles is like, oh, you have to triumph over your father, you gotta be. I'm like, Miles, this is bold coming from you. Like, I remember case 4 of game 1. You're like, oh, Manfred von Karma's prosecuting. I give up immediately, and I'm gonna confess to a murder I didn't even commit.
But then Miles is just like, you know what? That man taught me that I had to be strong, and now he's trying to be that man for Sebastian the Best. He
is trying to help, and I thought there were some really charming moments there.
That man that taught him to be strong was Phoenix, not Manfred von Karma.
I mean, anytime they say that man in like
it's
a
Phoenix,
slightly
right?
clunky way, it's Phoenix.
Right.
Yeah. I do think that this stuff is probably the best parts of this first half. Like the stuff with Sebastian in the garage and then the stuff with Sebastian in the courtroom later.
Yeah.
Like, I think that is some of the best stuff here. And
the best.
I was very charmed by it.
Yeah, we've been setting it up all game, and they bring it home, and they pretty much stick the landing. So you do your mind chess on Sebastian and help him out and give him some confidence, and he still
Mostly
runs away
just
screaming
correcting his
and crying.
English.
Yeah, which is just correcting his English.
I have a headcanon.
He literally goes, nobody's ever like told me that before. Like everyone just tells him to shut up when he's wrong.
Here's what I think. I think this is my headcanon for why Sebastian the Best is just like the way he is. Is that imagine you're like in first grade, right? And you fill out like a math sheet that says like 2 + 2 is 5, 5 + 5 is 8, and like entirely incorrect sheet of paper. And then you get this piece of paper back graded from your teacher, and it just says A+ 100%. And imagine if this was your entire academic career. He would have a completely different worldview from everyone around him. And that probably explains why he was like that in, like, cases 1 through 4, is because, like...
That is a psychological nightmare.
Yeah.
Like, imagine that, like...
No wonder he's freaking out.
Exactly, like, imagine everything you knew that was correct was actually a lie set up by your father. And is, like...
Yeah,
just...
You've been, like, trying to guess word definitions, and everyone just tells you you're right no matter what. Like,
Exactly.
it's a wonder he can even speak.
Like, there's a reason this man doesn't have a concept of English, because to him, English is his own language. He made it. Like, so, like...
He's just stumbling around and making his own path for what words mean.
The best path.
The best path. So, like, now that he's actually, like, in a world where he realizes that, like, oh yeah, I can be wrong about things. Oh no, I've been wrong about things. And, like...
When you learn the song you've been singing forever, his lyrics are wrong.
Darkness imprisoning me, all that I see.
Mm-hmm.
Absolute, is it terror or horror? I still don't know. Absolute terror.
It doesn't even matter at this point.
It doesn't even matter at this point. The point being is that, like, it's interesting to see, like, a character who, like, it has now, like, achieved full self-awareness. It is like, oh, this is what I am to other people, and like, the person to blame for this is not only me, but also my father. Like, he's a fucking menace. I really like Sebastian. Like, Sebastian the Best is somehow the most interesting part of this first half of the case, and he didn't even kill the president. He didn't even kill the president.
Yeah, I don't even care about the president. Like, if Agent Lang cares about the president, I don't care about the president.
Who cares?
I care about
like watching your
Sebastian.
younger sibling, like, figure something out for the first time, and you're just like, I'm proud of you, but also you're still an idiot.
Yeah, and, like, there's like a scene where, like, Blaze, like, leaves the stand and, like, walks towards Sebastian. Sebastian freaks out, and I'm like, buddy, I don't care about anything else. You are going to jail forever.
Yeah.
I'm that's it.
Sebastian the Best.
Do we want to jump to that scene real quick? Like, the whole courtroom confrontation between Sebastian and Blaze?
Yeah, I just wanted to real quick mention that, like, Sebastian the Best ran away from after we healed him from the garage. We see him at the Grand Tower again, but then he runs away from us, and then he shows up at the court. So he's been somewhere where we don't know, and then
he's running around.
He had to have his psychological awakening somewhere real quick.
Yeah, true.
And we would learn what that is then, because he runs into the courtroom as, you know, the trial is still attempting to be postponed because we need to pick up John Marsh. We have, in the middle here, we've done a little bit of investigation. We think we know where he is at a certain garbage dump, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's happening. Kay and Gumshoe are going to go find him, going to go rescue him. Edgeworth's like, I'll go back to the courtroom and try to postpone things as long as possible. And that's where we get this confrontation between Sebastian and Blaze, because Blaze is on the stand as a witness in the Patricia case. And Sebastian's like, well, I was supposed to be handling this case in the first place, so I'm here to stand in court, and I found no evidence. He's like, I went looking for the missing evidence that my dad hid, and he threw it away in the garbage. I couldn't find it. And we get this nice little graphic.
Cut to him crying and digging through the dump.
and looking in the
Poor
dump.
little guy.
It's a very good image, actually. It's a nice art piece that we get here. But he did find a newspaper, and that is like basically part of there's part of the evidence essentially that's going to link Blaze to this case, because it has an imprint on the newspaper that is, of course, exactly what Blaze's gloves have on it, which is the word
the cringe
death.
Gloves.
Dude,
and inside
so
the paper
goofy.
is a bell.
Imagine your father
Right,
is the
yes,
one
and
who wants to go shop at Hot Topic, and you want to shop at, like, Abercrombie and Fitch.
Oh, good lord.
Those are like mechanic gloves. You buy those at like Pep
Fine.
Boys or Ace Hardware or something,
Fine,
something like that.
Spencer's. Yeah.
Spencer's.
Oh, Lord.
But yeah, they're like these red and black gloves with flames on them, and then the fingertips have embroidered letters on them that say death on each finger.
It might as well be a fingerprint. Like it is completely like defeating the purpose of wearing gloves during crime.
That's basically what it is, without having to bring what's her name in?
I'm glad they
Emma
also
Scott.
Emma for the fingerprints. They're just like, here's a fingerprint, but instead of a fingerprint, it's a letter that you can see.
I'm glad they do also mention, like, oh, we're gonna check the dirt samples too and see if those match up, because like it's a little circumstantial still.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So like Sebastian there, and he actually handles the fucking logic. He like calls his dad out and shit. And Miles Edgeworth is like, "Hey, be strong." And then like he's like, "I don't know if I can." And then Miles is like, "All right, but fucking do it though." And he goes, "Yeah, good point."
Yeah, do it. Tell your dad.
And then gets his dad. And then like we get Blaze the Best, and we're like about to fucking call it quits, and Lang butts in and goes, "I'm going to arrest the judge and her son because they killed the president. A death that has not mattered for 3 hours."
I think arresting a 13-year-old boy is probably the like lowest we've gone in terms of, well, it's definitely the youngest suspect we've ever.
How old was Machi?
Machi was like 14 or 15, I think.
Yeah,
like the
they were a
same
little
thing.
older.
That's
but,
like
yeah.
that's a
That was still
1 to 2 year difference.
The lowest point in terms of like, you cannot arrest this child who has a questionable grasp of English and is from a different country and is blind, at least as far as you know. Like,
yeah.
but I think 13's our youngest.
No, this one's okay. John Marsh can speak our language this time, so you know.
Yeah, okay.
It all works out.
It all works out. Now you can arrest him. I have to assume that Lang is doing some fucking 4-dimensional chess here in order to like.
I don't know. I don't think.
Here's my thing.
Lang's not smart.
Here's my thing. Is that Lang's character development from the previous game is that he learns that he shouldn't just arrest people on a fucking whim. He should gather evidence.
But that's exactly what he's doing.
I know. That's what's pissing me off.
Instead of just because he's just like, instead of just being like, "Oh, you're standing here right now, it's your fault." He was just like, "You were there last night, so it's your fault."
So like, I have to assume there are two situations here. One, they talk about this. Laura, like, Lang was so saddened by the death of the president that he is reverting back to his bad tendencies. So that is probably why he's acting like Game 1 Lang. Or two,
because this has a personal connection to him with his
clan.
Yeah, his dad.
I'm just like,
and they keep talking about like 12 years ago.
Yeah, there's something that happened 12 years ago.
12 years ago, John Marsh was born.
No, he would have been 1.
Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah, and I'm also kind of like, I don't know, let's focus on Sebastian, everybody. Let's focus up. I don't care about the president.
No, he's done. Whatever.
Sebastian the Best has completed his arc, and now we have to arrest mother ? And her son ? Lang, like, let the fucking court case finish. Like, why you gotta fucking step in, man?
Yeah,
right. It's been a handful of hours.
It's like, come on. Just let the gavel hit the fucking pavement. So we have to go, we're gonna start back up in the case, and then we're gonna be like at the fucking movie lot with Justin Corney and John Marsh, her son, and then I can't wait for John Marsh to be like, "No, that's my sister," or some shit like that. So something that we kind of also overlooked this case is that like Gumshoe has a moment of like realization, because we've been like seeing Gumshoe throughout the case, and he like keeps running away until like there's a certain point where we see him looking under a taxi.
He's crawling on the ground, hiding
behind
a taxi.
Exactly.
It's very funny. It's very cute.
And then he goes, "Miles Edgeworth, when you stopped being a prosecutor, I felt like I wasn't a detective anymore, and I didn't know what to do with myself."
As soon as he said that, I was like, "That's not how that fucking works." And then Gumshoe goes, "And that's not how that works."
Exactly.
Thank God, Gumshoe.
Gumshoe though goes,
God.
"Detectives are not here to investigate for the sole purpose of the prosecutor. Detectives are here to investigate, period." And I'm like, yeah, man, that's your job description.
I broke your job down to the barest essentials.
You fucking did it, man. Congrats. And he goes, "Great, here's the information I learned." And I'm just like, oh shit, I didn't think you'd be helpful. Okay.
Yeah, he helps us out. You know, he he provides information that then helps out to find John,
True.
They found you.
So like Gumshoe got like a little tiny miniature character arc that was kind of overshadowed by Sebastian's character arc. It's because Gumshoe didn't cry as hard. If he cried
never
harder,
got the fucking young Gumshoe sprite. They took it from us.
if we had one
The
Gumshoe,
real crime.
when he had one less spike in his hair,
Right.
dude. When he's like 60, he's gonna be like a porcupine up there. Isn't it?
He's like Phoenix,
He's like
except for the front.
except at the front. So like, it's strange to describe how I feel about this case because a lot of this case has stuff that I love. The Sebastian the Best arc. I love seeing Will Powers again because that's great. He's a chill guy.
Right.
There's a funny bit where
Edgeworth likes to see him too.
yeah, there's a bit where you talk to Will Powers and Miles Edgeworth is like, so are y'all making a new Steel Samurai? And Will Powers is like, ooh, can't
And Miles
say.
is pissed.
But Miles then goes, but he didn't outright deny it. Galaxy Brain. I know the answer.
Yep. He
Checkmate.
understands how PR works.
He understands how PR works. So he's excited for the new Steel Samurai. He does not care about
He's seen him
Mozilla.
enough that Will should just be like, oh yeah, absolutely.
Imagine that like Will Powers like goes home one day and there's like a wonderful written letter handwritten by Miles that just be like, "Dear Mr. Powers, thank you for your assistance in the case today. As a warrior of Neo Old Tokyo, I am glad to know you as well," or some shit like that. It's so fucking. And also, this letter never happened. It will burn after reading.
Please respond and sign in very large print.
Yeah.
I can't believe that the Steel Samurai spoilers leak got deleted off of Reddit because the global studios came down hard. They brought the hammer down to find out the leaks for the latest, Steel Samurai movie, and they were just like, "Nope, this subreddit can't exist anymore. We got to get rid of this shit." So they subpoenaed Reddit, and said, "Get this out of here."
When I saw the image of the Steel Samurai at the White Church, I knew that there was something going on. And I, as a true fan, knew that this was a fan reproduction.
We're referencing two different Reddit incidences here is what we're doing, but
yes.
Hey, if you know the deep lore.
Yeah, I know. Miles Edgeworth absolutely a mod on the Steel Samurai Reddit.
Oh no.
That one gotcha? Okay.
That's upsetting, but it's true.
So this case had like a lot of twists and turns, a lot of character development, too few many save points, and quite possibly the most egregious age gap I've ever seen. But I still kind of liked it. Like, I'm still interested in what the fuck is gonna happen. I'm just like,
I mean, we're not done, so yeah,
we're not done.
Plenty of case ahead of us.
I'm just like, why was
just about halfway?
I just feel like the front half of the case was so like, we're starting off with the president's death, and then we're not going to talk about it for 3 hours. We've got other shit to do. And it's like...
We've got other shit to tie together from shit that happened earlier in the game.
Yeah. And I'm like, is this good? Like, I have to assume the second half of the case is just, like, going to be completely president-based, right?
I mean, we have a decent amount of... I don't know. Like, it feels like the arc of the way that this case is set up anyway. I mean, maybe I could be wrong once we get to the second half, but so far, like, the Sebastian arc and the rescuing John Marsh kind of bit, that all kinds of neatly ties together. I feel like you could have, where we ended, you could have like done like the Grand Turnabout Part 1 and the Grand Turnabout Part 2 within the game and divided up into two cases,
Yeah.
And just maybe section them off just a smidge more, right? Like, and have instead, some, I'm sure there's some ways that you could just slightly tweak the story to make them feel a little bit more, self-contained, if you would do that. But who knows? Maybe my mind will change once I play the second half. And I'm like, oh, actually, all that stuff, was really good foreshadowing and it all fits together. So we'll see. But yeah, I mean, it's often the case with a lot of Ace Attorney games is, they want to go big for their final case. Ace Attorney Investigations has had longer cases than almost any other game in the series. So it kind of just plays out that way that this final case is a massive one. But, if you split it up into two, maybe that's good marketing. this game has 6 cases instead of the normal 5, right?
Oh, one for each Pokemon. Sorry.
What?
Whenever I think about all right, let me be clear. I'm gonna follow this up. Every time I think about the number 6, I always think about Pokemon because you have 6 Pokemon in your party. That is just how the thread of my mind works. I hear the number 6, I think about Pokemon. That's just how it works. Okay.
Oh, I'm like that with like every video game, and the number 3
Why the number 3?
because everything's done in thirds.
Oh yeah, fair.
3 pieces of the Triforce, 3 crystals before you can turn into an adult.
Yeah, that's just the thread of my. All right, now that I've defended my like 6 Pokemon link, let's leave this door. I'm closing this door.
Leave your weird number things in the comments.
Hey man, if you ever think about the number 12, tell us why.
I don't
Tell
know.
us your relationship with numbers.
What's your least to most favorite number?
Make sure to list all of them.
We
Every single
promise
number.
that this is relevant to Ace Attorney.
So, yeah. I guess Rose, did you have any other strong like concluding thoughts here for this first half? Then,
I mean, I was, as predicted, extremely enchanted with the Sebastian. I liked him already. I had a feeling we were going somewhere good with it, and I was just hoping that it wasn't going to be too bad. And it was lovely. I really liked that. I don't really care about anything else, but I guess we're still gonna solve the case.
They're gonna drag you kicking and screaming into the rest of it.
Yeah, I don't really like John. He's
I don't
chugging
think
milk
he's intended
straight
to
out
be
of
super.
Yeah,
I know
Wait.
that's so much calcium. He'd
It's
be
You
so
don't
gross.
sick.
like genre? I feel like you would though.
Actually, there's not really that much calcium in milk. It's literally just that's way too much milk for your body to consume at once.
Yeah, he's chugging milk straight
Do
out of
not
the
drink a
carton.
gallon of milk in one sitting. You will
Yeah.
literally become sick.
It's nasty. I'll see. Maybe they'll make him better, but yeah. It was too long. It ran too long. There was some instances of like flashing back to what had just happened 5 seconds ago. There was
yep.
a little
Mhm.
bit of like just randomly connecting pieces of logic together and hoping you get the right logical connection.
Yeah, there were some things that even Ira was like, okay, that's a stretch.
Yeah, some stretches for sure. You know, that combined with how long everything was taking was just sort of like, ugh. But
Yep.
for me it was worth it with the payoff with Sebastian and getting to like be the mentor character for him in court.
Yeah, they stuck the landing with that whole segment.
Yeah.
They really did.
I liked that, and
which was
I'd
great.
love to think that there would be more of that in the second half of the case, but I'm not going to get my hopes up.
There definitely is a bit of like teasing out, it seems like, with this mastermind character, right? Like they definitely
Like,
seem
it's
to be
Dogen,
going,
right? Like
they're like somebody who's in our midst, like is kind of how they do it, because they do that bit with Nicole, right?
hmm
With
The only reason I don't think it's Dogen, Rose, is because he is a hired assassin. There's somebody else involved above him. And by above him, I mean just paying him to do what he's doing.
yeah, I guess.
And
I found him like
with,
a little.
The same with the killer.
Yeah, I found him kind of boring. It wasn't like Shelly where I was like, "Oh, this is fun. You're kind of a wacky guy."
right.
He's in this
Who
case
keeps
too, by the
showing
way.
up with the ice cream
Yeah.
cone. But
He's
this time
like-
he's selling cotton candy. He was here the whole time, apparently, last case.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh well, I'm looking for the guy who hired me. If I get him first, I'm gonna kill him, basically."
Yep.
Do you
But I
think-
figured, if we'll help each other out. If you find something out, I'll be spying on you, so I'll find something out. So keep working on it. And I'm
I
like,
think-
okay.
I think it is totally possible that like president hired Kelly the Killer to kill the president. Because like, what's a cool way to like fucking establish
the real president of Zhangfa, who was replaced with kind of a shitty body double 12 years ago, is the mastermind behind everything. That's my prediction.
We're definitely gonna get like a third act reveal, all right? Like we're definitely getting like there's gonna be another person coming in and be like, oh, by the way, I masterminded everything. I'm the fucking bishop and I'm the king of the chess. And Edward's gonna be like, there's only one king here. It's me.
Go off, king.
Go off, king. I'm just like, I'm kind of flabbergasted at how like little the fucking murder case actually mattered in the first half of this case. Like, we did a lot of shit that was just like,
well, he was already dead, and Sebastian and John were still alive, so we had to focus on them first.
It just felt like
because he's not gonna get like more dead.
The president just felt like a side quest in this first half. Like the main quest was finding Sebastian and John.
Right.
I think I can't even predict. Des, didn't we make like a bet last podcast about like, oh yeah, I think the person who kidnapped Kay at night was Shelly the killer?
I don't remember. I remember making a bet, but I don't remember what the bet was.
Yeah, me neither.
We've already forgotten the bet. I'd have to go back and check the recording.
We're geniuses.
Yeah. One of us owes the other $1, and I think it's me who owes Des $1. I don't
remember.
Yeah,
was it that Shelly the Killer and Dogen were gonna go at each other?
My assassin fight's looking a lot more likely.
Assassin fight is looking a lot more likely. The fact that Dogen escaped prison and is like, yeah, he got out. I was like, damn, dude, you could have brought the boxer with you. Shit.
yeah, let Jailbird out.
Let Jailbird out. Fuck, dude.
You kind of get the feeling that Dogen could have left whenever he wanted to, right?
Absolutely.
Like
he did. The second Patricia was not there, that man just rolled out. He's like, all right, I have no more fun here. I don't get to annoy a lady with weasels. I can go home now.
Right.
You're free.
The new prison warden was not listening to him, and when he was trying to like puppet master everything, so he was like, I'll just leave.
I need the Batman to my Joker.
That was their relationship, you think? I don't know about that one.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I don't know, man. I'm just like, they kept throwing shit at us, and then Dogen was one of them. And I was like, oh my god, I don't care. I don't care about Dogen.
Everyone is here.
Everyone is here. Except for Jailbird. Yeah. Jailbird.
Dessy, did you have any last thoughts about this case as well, this first half?
My brain is swimming right now. So much stuff going on and trying to remember so much stuff that happened. Because everything is there for a purpose. And I know Ace Attorney likes to tie all of it together with a really big bow. So I'm like, what seemingly unimportant thing happened that is actually super important?
We have a lot of crap in our evidence bullet journal right now. Yeah, so much.
There's a lot going on in there.
So much. I need Gumshoe to come take some of it away from me.
I know for some people that's like a lot of the excitement that they get out of Ace Attorney is being able to be like, oh yeah, I remember that happening and I remember this happening and things fall into place. But right now I feel like I'm floating in fucking the in-between worlds of not knowing what's going on.
The evidence wagon is so full and you are getting lost in the
sauce of evidence.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I really do hope that for this case we get a nice resolution for kind of the killing of the president. I agree with everybody, about the body double theory. I think that's absolutely what's happening there. I'm not sure who this mastermind is. We noticed that the talking style on the audio, like when they call, Justine's phone and Edgeworth picks up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The talking style, they use a lot of knows and you see, and that's how Blaze talks, right?
Exactly,
Blaze uses and you see a lot in his dialogue. So that matches up there. It feels a little too easy for it to be Blaze.
That's too many red
it's too
Red
pat,
hands.
right? It feels like a red herring almost, you know. So I'm not sure.
That's
but
just like
I
the
noticed
language
that, at
somebody
least.
who feels like they can use when they feel like they're above somebody.
Mm-hmm. So we'll see. But they've intentionally brought back a whole bunch of characters, and we have like 20 characters, you know, floating around in this case. So it's also easy enough for them to just say like one of them was the killer. So we'll see. But yeah, I think the highlight really is the Sebastian stuff in here. I think that was really compelling, and it was pretty fun. Doing the mind chess with him, and then having the confrontation in the courtroom, like all of that was very satisfying and really fun to see. And like Sebastian got his own brand new song, his own track that dropped as well.
He
In
did.
the courtroom. He got his objection theme.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
So cute. He did such a good job.
That was nice. And that's something I really, really like. Ace Attorney has a really strong musical identity. And so anytime the game says, you know what? No, we're going to put a brand new song in case 5 that you're only going to hear like twice, maybe, right? Just to make this moment land. And they do that more as the game series goes on. And I really like that. And I'm really glad that they did that here, because it helps. You know, to take his theme that we heard before, but now redo it in a cooler, you know, more badass way.
And
to really,
I liked his theme before too, like the sort of dopey, like twinkly music was very funny.
Yeah.
And you know, it was good. They did a good job. I'm really happy with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If the case ends here, oh well, at least I got something good out of it.
Yeah.
There's no Ace Attorney Investigations 3, so.
Yeah, this was definitely, now that the way that things are going here, this definitely feels like it was kind of conceived and orchestrated as a duology. Like the fact that we had the smuggling ring stuff come from game 1 to game 2 and everything, you know, there feels like it was from the start that they really kind of planned it out, you know, at the very least to be 2 games. So I would need to do some more reading on with some interviews with the creators, like after we're done with the game, which I haven't done yet, just to avoid spoilers. But after the fact, I want to look into that and see how much they thought about it as a duology from the start, or if they did one and then they were like, well, we're only going to get to do one more, so let's wrap it all up in the second one, you know, and kind of approached it that way instead.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Well, that is the first half of Case 5 then. And next week we will be wrapping, or 2 weeks from now, excuse me, we will be wrapping up the end of this case and the end of Ace Attorney Investigations 2. And this,
The fan train.
This, folks, is also the final 2D Ace Attorney case that we will be playing in this series.
Oh.
After this,
Sprites, I love
everything
you.
jumps them to 3D. So yeah, Phoenix Wright versus Layton is 3D, and games 5, 6, and the Great Ace Attorney are all in 3D. So say farewell to our wonderful sprites and the animations that they've done here, because we'll be moving on to the 3rd dimension soon.
Since we're leaving 2 dimension, the 2nd dimension, a lot of hearts running sprite is the funniest shit I've ever seen in my entire life.
That's so
And
good.
I'd like to specifically bid farewell to that running animation.
It is very good. It is.
She was fucking She was schmoovin'. She was
She
There it
was
is.
truly
Yep.
the definition of schmoovin'.
That's Tiago's
Yeah.
word of the week.
We're like word of the month.
Yeah,
Nope.
I've been saying that for a long. I mean, that's like one of my new words, right? Schmoovin'. Schmoovin's good.
So, all right. Any last thoughts? Otherwise, I'm going to do the outro.
But
So,
by the time you hear this recording, the eShop will be closed down, which means the only
you were too late.
You are too late.
Rest in peace.
We should have done
eShop.
more announcements about this, but like, rest in peace to 3DS eShop. The only way to play the 3DS games would be to find someone on the internet and then wake up and then you have the games. How you get from point A to point B is up to you, intrepid listener.
Right.
Also, you can just watch the YouTube uploads that we do.
Yep, we're still going to be doing the Let's Plays. So you can follow the show on Twitter at Ace Attorney Pod. You can follow us on co-host Ace Attorney and are on our website, updatedautopsy.report. This will keep you up to date on the latest episodes as well as the uploads on YouTube of Dessy and Iro and I playing through the game. You can follow me on Twitter at Yotseben and on co-host under Yotseben. Dessy, where can people find you?
Twitter at yes, this is Des, but if somebody finds a better social media platform, let me know. I'm so tired of starting over on social media.
And Tiago?
You can follow me at Tiago S. Dustra on various social media platforms. I gotta like take one day and just like fucking I'll fix all that stuff. Yeah, at Tiago S. Dustra, you'll find me.
Yeah, no worries.
Rebranding?
No, just like I gotta switch my other socials so that is also at Tiago S. Dustra. So I can just say at Tiago S. Dustra, you know what I mean?
Yeah, on everything.
Yeah.
Mine's usually Despondence, but that gets taken.
Yeah.
Got taken on Twitter.
I'm sorry. Well, you can just switch to all yes, this is Des, right? We keep interrupting
really
the fucking...
Yeah, I'm trying to let Rose plug her shit.
You can find me at Rose Nonsense wherever there are @ symbols.
Yep. All right. Well, thank you everybody for listening. We hope you will rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. Next episode, we will be playing the second half of the fifth and final case of Ace Attorney Investigations 2, The Grand Turnabout. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.